Okay, hello, whoa, and welcome to this video. I feel like this is a really powerful one for two reasons. Number one, I tried to record it on my computer and it kept glitching. Number two, then I believe it was either a whale or a dolphin jumped out of the water, which is crazy. So we're gonna record this now. And this video is called Talk to God. So I feel like God is really encouraging you to communicate with him more. He wants to speak to his children. I feel like there's important messages that need to be heard that you won't hear unless you communicate with God. And I feel like if you don't know how to call on God or speak to God, the best thing that I would suggest you to do or understand is Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call unto me and I will answer." What this means to me, and I wrote this in my book if you want like a bigger explanation of this verse, as well as about 120 something more. I do have a book called Daughter of God. It is my devotional and it just got published on my birthday, so you can find that in the description box below. But what God is trying to convey through "call unto me and I shall answer" is that God wants to talk to you, God wants to speak to you, but the thing is, you need to call on him. He is waiting there for you to call. He is on the other side of the phone. Like, where's the phone? He's literally waiting here, and you just gotta be like, "Hi God," and start to speak to God as if it's a conversation. And you might not get answers right away, and if you don't, that's okay. And I want to make that very clear. Don't let the fear of not getting an answer right away from God stop you from calling on him, from calling on to him, because that's the thing about God is God doesn't want you to or need you to be like 100% faithful. God doesn't need you to be like, "I know that he's going to answer" when you call on him. God almost wants you to not be that 100% faithful yet, so then when he does answer, it becomes a bigger testimony. So for example, earlier today, and I've been working with this concept of talking to God a lot recently, and I had asked God, I was like, "Okay God, like what do I need to do for XYZ?" And immediately God answered and said, "Do this." And those are moments in which you're like, "Oh my God, okay, God's speaking and I need to respond and take the action that God led me to do," because that's God communicating with you. And God wants to have this like direct communication with you. But the thing is, you have to remove the things in your life that are blocking his communication from you. So I'm actually going to tie this into, it's kind of a program I'm creating right now called Beyond Belief to help you overcome your limiting beliefs and understand how the world has shaped your mind. It goes into a lot of neurological programming, synapses. It's very science, it's not woo-woo. And I'm writing about how music actually impacts your subconscious mind, your psyche, your beliefs, and even further than that, if you want to go onto the biblical side or connecting to God, if you're constantly listening to music, you're choosing to listen to the music instead of listening to God. So that can be one way that you are blocking, and it's one major way I know I block God from speaking to me is through listening to music. God had told me the other day, like, instead of listening to this music, listen to me, like talk to me. And so start to understand the different ways in your life right now that you might be blocking your direct connection to God, because you should have a direct connection to God. That is the natural way that we are made and created. If you don't have this natural connection and communication with God, it means that there's something blocking you or something in the way. So the highest encouragement that I could give you would be to go through your life and start to see, where is there a lot of noise? Like, ask yourself this question, like, where is there too much noise that you don't have time to actually sit with God? Secondarily, how can you create a space? Maybe it's a room in your home or a time of day or some like activity or part of your day that you can dedicate and devote directly to talking to God. Maybe it's right when you wake up, you get out of bed and you put a nice little pillow on the floor or blanket on the floor and you just sit and you have a conversation. Maybe you journal as if you were talking to God. Even if you don't get a response right away, just know that God may speak through other people. God could speak through dreams. God can speak through experiences. Most directly is the best way. But if you're not somebody that can hear naturally, because not everybody has this ability to hear, then what you should focus on is asking God to show you specific ways that he can communicate with you so that you know that it's him. The only thing with that is when something comes and it's not direct, it can be more easily manipulated. So just be conscious of that. But God will answer what you are asking for in prayer and in petition and when you call upon him. So I hope that you enjoyed this video about talking to God. If you want to get my devotional book, it's called Daughter of God, and the link for that will be in the description box below. There's also a corresponding journal. I'm just having issues with the link, so I might put a waitlist link if you want the journal that goes with it. Basically takes each of the Bible verses that I have in the devotional and then breaks down a question for it. So for example, the actual journal prompt, I'll just give it to you for free today, that is connected to this specific Bible verse is, if you could call on God, what would you say? So if you want a little complimentary experience right now, I highly recommend for you to grab out your journal, get off social media, and journal what that looks like. If you could call on God right now, what would you say? What would the whole conversation be? Journal it, write it on your computer. I highly recommend paper and pen. And eventually, once that link is out, you can even write it in your journal so you can look back to see your faith in growing with God. Additionally speaking, if you want to sow into my YouTube channel, I will put the donation link in the description. And I am sending you so much love. In the future, when my Beyond Belief program is created, I will put the information for that at the website. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love. Bye.